Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader.
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to one more page.
Where it's never just one more page.
Hi, Sam.
Hey.
Weird. Oh my God, I have a gym story to tell you because if people don't know, I am currently going to the gym, not because I want to, but because I'm being a good sister and going to the gym for my sister. But anyways, I was at the gym where I was running on the treadmill. There's a very attractive man, got into the treadmill next to me. And then he was working out. I was working out and I was just trying to be like, really sly about it. I was like, don't fall off the treadmill. This old man came behind me to grab like the sanitizer bottle because it was behind me and he farted. And then the man next to me thought I farted and he got off the treadmill and ran away. And it was so embarrassing. To go with that, I was telling my coworker about it. And she was like, oh, Morgan, do you not know that marathon runners have diarrhea? I go, wait, what? And she goes, yeah, people who run, like elite runners, they have diarrhea. It's called something. And I was like, you're lying to me, but I also don't want to look it up on Google because I don't want to see weird stuff. And she goes, no, it's actually a thing. I was like, no, you're actually lying to me. And I was like, I don't want to look it up. And so she's like, I'll send you this video. And I was like, I don't want a video.
Let me send you this video.
I was like, I don't want to watch a video, but it was just someone talking about it. I was like, oh my God, that's actually a thing. And now I'm like, I want to question, like, if you're a marathon runner, do you not feel it? Is it just running through you? Are you question? I don't understand.
It's because it's why we tell people who are constipated to move. Because it moves their bowels. Like when you're running, it moves your bowels.
Okay.
So when you're running a lot, things move super quick.
I'm telling you, the minute
because you're using up your energy sources, so you have to get more. And everyone thinks like the stomach is where you absorb nutrition.
Yeah,
and it's not. It's your intestines.
Oh my
so your
God.
stomach just breaks it down. There's some absorption, but there's not a lot of absorption. Most of the absorption happens in like your upper intestines and everything. And so when you're running and you're using all your extra energy and all your stuff,
yeah,
well, your body's like, I need more. Give me more. And so stuff starts moving faster, and
I think if I ever, sorry y'all, but if I ever do that while I'm running on the treadmill, I'm never going back to the gym. I'm never running again. I don't care. I'm never running again. That's it for me. But I was like, that's absolutely no, thank you. Like, absolutely not. But then the other thing I was going to tell you was that I had another thing that happened to me at the gym. Let me just say right now, when I say I'm going to the gym, all I mean, I'm running on the treadmill. Okay. That's all I mean, as I'm running on the treadmill, okay? That's all I want to do. So I'm on the treadmill, and I get on the machine that I like the most, which is like right in the corner facing the outside. And the reason why I like that treadmill is because I won't stare at people because I have a habit of zoning out and staring at random people. And I feel like people don't like that. And I don't mean it. Like, I really don't mean to stare at you while you're working out. But if I have nothing to stare at, and sometimes I feel self-conscious putting like a Netflix show on, and sometimes I'm very hard at finding like what I want to watch. So I'll just like stare at the miles, or I'll just like randomly stare at someone working out. And so I like to put myself in the corner facing a wall so I don't stare at people. Okay. When I got the treadmill, as soon as I got on it, I heard it sounded like it wasn't lubricated. It was like squeak, squeak, squeak. And I was like, I can't do this. So I immediately like got off, and as soon as I got off, some guy got onto the treadmill next to me, and as soon as he started running, I pressed stop and got off. And he looked at me as I walked away. He looked at me, and I just walked around the corner, got onto another treadmill. Which I don't know if you've run on a treadmill, obviously you ran on a treadmill before, but like, do you ever like run on a treadmill really hard and then you get off and your legs are really jelly, like they feel like jello?
Yeah.
That's what I felt like whenever I get off a treadmill, except because I was used to, I did about 3 miles because I wanted to make sure I wasn't like hard sprinting every single day. But I did 3 miles on a 28% incline. A lot for me. I have short legs. Okay, I got short legs. So when I got off the treadmill, and because I was also going 3.5 speed, which is also a lot for me at my little legs, I felt like I was still on the treadmill, and I almost ran into a lady. I couldn't stop. I was like, and I was like,
revoke your gym membership.
I'm surprised they have it. But anyway, Sam, how's your week been going? Any treadmill mishaps?
Oh, one of my coworkers thought I was having a stroke, so that was fun.
Wait, what?
Like legitimately thought I was having a stroke. I wasn't. Okay, so this patient was like begging for a hot dog, and they couldn't have a
Hot
hot dog
dog.
for reasons. They couldn't have a hot dog, and this hot dog is important because I'm sitting at the nurse's station, and like two of the nurses are talking. It was
Mhm.
my charge, and then like another nurse talked to each other. This hot dog was not important, so I'm just sitting there and I'm just listening to their conversation. And then once it was done, and you know how you like find like a break in the conversation
Yeah.
where like you can now, and I was like, how does one go about getting a hot dog for our patient? And it goes, yeah, are you okay? Are you having a stroke right now? Because
Yeah.
apparently how I said it just came out weird. And
Yeah.
he's like, no, I'm legitimately concerned about you. I said, it is 2026. I am sitting in the hospital right now. It is this date right now.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of this patient. This one is in
Yeah.
dialysis. I'm like, I know where I am. I know what I'm doing. And I stuck my tongue out. And he goes, okay, good. We are not having a stroke. I said, no, no about this hot dog.
Okay, question. You go to the hospital, right? And if
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I want something different,
Yes.
you guys have to try to get it? Like, how does this
Te-
hot dog, like,
technically, yes and no. So when you come in to the
mhm,
hospital, they
mhm.
go, here is your medical history. And if
Yeah.
you have like a cardiac history, you get a cardiac diet. So it's like
Yeah.
low sodium,
Mhm.
like low fat, like all
Yeah.
of that. If you're a diabetic, you get like, we call it a consistent carb diet. So like the
Mhm.
number of carbs you get on your tray
Mhm.
are
Mhm.
generally pretty similar. And if there really isn't anything major going on, like you're a fairly healthy person, you can eat whatever the heck you want.
Okay.
So when you call down to the kitchen, you say, hi, I'm calling for room 125, and
Yeah.
they would like a hot dog. They'll pull them up and go, well, they're on a renal diet right now, and because of chemicals in hot dogs, we will not give a
Yeah.
renal diet patient a hot dog. However, if they have family, they can go downstairs and buy them whatever they want,
Yeah.
but we can't give it to them. So
Okay.
I couldn't get it for her. So
Yeah.
that's the end of the story. Is I could
Yeah.
not get it for her. That's how that works. The other thing is that apparently my coworkers now think I'm a human dictionary.
I mean, I already kind of knew this.
One of the girls was talking about how her and another nurse were doing like the word of the day.
Mhm.
And the word of the day the other day was indubitably. And I'm like, oh, that's a fantastic word. I
Mhm.
like the word indubitably. It's a very
Yeah.
like very Sherlock word. It's
Yeah.
so good. And so again, my charge nurse, same charge nurse who also thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
Um, same day, we were all sitting in a little powwow circle, and he's like, "Oh, let me go look up today's word of the day and see what it is." And apparently, the global word of the day was bumfuzzled.
Okay.
Can you guess what bumfuzzled means?
I feel like you're being a bum and you're being fuzzled. No.
Okay,
I'm assuming it's like you accidentally do something. Like I'm thinking of it like as you're fumbling around. That's how the verb I
so
get from it.
I said, "Oh, is that like confused?"
Oh yeah, I can see that
And he's
too.
like, "Who are you? Like, how did you know that's what that word meant?"
Funny.
And I'm like, "Because my favorite word is confuzzled." Like confused and
Oh
puzzled. And
yeah.
so bumfuzzled is like to confuse or like to actively confuse
Yeah.
somebody. And he goes, now we need to talk about how you know what the word bumfuzzled
Yeah.
means. And it was literally a whole conversation about how I'm a human dictionary. So yeah, not only did they think I was having a stroke on the same day, they also called me a human dictionary. So that was fun.
Okay. Fun. You know what? Next time we're playing Scrabble, I'll call you.
I'm really good at Scrabble too.
I hate Scrabble. I'm really good at knowing what words are. I'm not good at spelling, so
Oh, you do not want to play Words with Friends with me?
oh, no, thank
I
you.
kick
No,
ass at
no,
Words with
thank you. But
Friends.
I will say I'll kick ass at Tetris. I'm really good at Tetris,
Mm,
like puzzle games like that. I'm
yeah.
really good at. But anyways, let's talk about the book that we read this week. So this week we read a book called Little Miss Petty by Sally Kilpatrick. It follows Stella Stark, who finds out at 39 that her boyfriend is cheating on her. Instead of spiraling, she leans into being a little bit petty. She decides to open up a business called Little Miss Petty, which a way to help women get justice. And let's just say business is kind of crazy with all the pettiness that is being thrown. But things get complicated when her latest target turns out to be her neighbor, and he's not exactly the villain she expected. He's charming, kind, and suddenly she's questioning everything. This is a story about revenge, romance, second chances, and figuring it yourself out along the way. This book was also provided to us by NetGalley and Montauk Lake for our honest review, which of course we will give.
Okay, so I actually loved this book. I had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, okay.
I felt like honestly, like a book that's called Miss Petty kind of would be like a super
Yeah.
shallow book.
Yeah.
it was a lot deeper than you would expect. I love the dynamic between
Mhm.
Stella and Havisham and Salcedo, Daisy Salcedo. It was fun watching three different generations interact and how wholesome their relationship was.
Yeah.
Stella's ex-boyfriend can truly go rotten whole, though for
Mhm.
all the sketchy stuff he did. And
Mhm.
Stella honestly dodged a bullet with that man. I just wish we had more petty moments. The side characters were fun, and there really wasn't anyone on page who I didn't want to hear from except Stella's mom, who
Yeah.
needs to do a lot of work on herself. But
Yes.
like overall, I had a good time with it. 4 stars. It was great. Again, I thought it was going to be a lot more shallower than it is, and I feel like it was a good coming of age book, and especially with like the three women, like showing like all of our problems are just like on one big cycle, and we just keep repeating
Yeah.
over and over and over again. So yeah, 4 stars, fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
I really like the fact that this has to do with womanhood and they had the
Mm,
3 different generations. Love that. I love the fact that this book talks a lot about like finding yourself within a group of supportive women. And that part felt very relatable because I do surround myself with some very powerful and intelligent, caring women in my life. Like you said, I wish there was more petty moments
yeah.
because they were all like really small and inconvenient things that she was doing, which I get is the point because you don't want her to be the villain of the
Mm,
story and do like really harsh stuff that's not super nice, I guess. But
yeah.
like it was more inconvenient stuff than anything. And there was like a little bit of a mystery with this novel too, which I didn't expect. I thought it was just gonna be all like a romance, but if this book felt like a light, fluffy mystery romance rather than a really kind of serious contemporary dark romance novel, I guess, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's also closed door
Hmm.
romance. So if you obviously don't want to read a book where there is a lot of spice in it, then this is the one for you because it's a lot of the scenes are fade to black. And yes, there are conversations where they're talking about some like sexual stuff. But if you don't like the whole like smut part of a book, then
Hmm.
obviously definitely check it out. And although you love this book, Sam, I have to say, I didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Listen, part of me wonders if it's because of the fact that I've been reading a lot of romance books recently. I mean, I love my romance books. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But this one just didn't hit the same for me. And I think the biggest issue for me was the romance itself. It
Mm,
felt very rushed to me personally. And it just didn't 100% believe in the chemistry between the two main characters. And
right.
I wanted more build up and I wanted more emotional connection instead of them going straight into like, hi, I like you. Okay, I like you too. Like, I wanted more build up. Felt like some characters could have gone deeper. I feel like she was doing a lot of like telling, not showing. And I wanted more scenes where we were more connected to Stella and feeling the pain and the trauma that she goes through her childhood and through with her ex boyfriend. Of course, I do want to mention Taylor Swift. So I'm a huge shit Swiftie. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love myself some Taylor Swift, okay? But I did feel like it felt a little awkward how many times she mentions Taylor Swift, although I do know it does go with like a character in the book where this
Yes.
character is a huge Taylor Swift fan. I just personally, it felt a little cringy to me. Like, I also honestly find it cringy whenever I feel people who are mentioning like social media a lot in books feel cringy. But mentioning Taylor Swift over and over and over again felt like, hey, I want to be relatable somehow. This is how I'm going to be relatable.
Mm,
And it just felt very repetitive. Overall, I gave this a 3-star rating. It was
mm.
fun, light, and easy to get through. But personally, not something that I'll probably reread again. So yeah, that's my thought.
Here's what we're reading today. Okay, so I am reading right now. It's called The Epicenter of Forever. It's a like romance ish. It's about a girl who's like she's getting ready to lose her mom, and she's also like meeting this guy and like getting into a relationship with him, and it's just like kind of like a finding yourself during like hard moments in your life and having to choose like where you want to be between this like new relationship that she's having and then like the pending of like her mom passing away, which is a great book for me because I'll probably end up in tears. I'm like a couple chapters in, so I really don't have any like opinions on it. I will probably end up sobbing for sure, but it's got like some really good reviews. It's like 4.3 stars with like over 7,000 reviews, so I have high hopes for it. So yeah, that is what I'm currently reading right now. I decided to take a break from Doomsday Carl's Dungeon Crawler Carl because I'm one of those people that like if I read too much of the same thing, I get burnt out by it. So I'm like doing a couple books, throwing something in between. I'll do a couple books, throw something in between. So this is my like palate cleanser.
Sometimes we just gotta get emotional, okay?
Sometimes you just need to cry. A good cry is
Sometimes
great.
yes, 100%. So, currently, I am reading I even brought the book with me. Wild Love by Lee Silver. Listen, I'm trying to do this thing on my TBR, which I mentioned, I think, a couple episodes ago, where I'm doing like a theme. And this one's theme is cowboys. Even though I don't think this is a cowboy romance at all. Even though I did look it up and Google said it was a cowboy romance. So I was like, okay, it goes with my thing. I don't really think it is so far. Okay, listen. I'm only like, I want to say, I'm probably only like 50 or 60 pages into this book, but it basically follows this guy named Ford Grant, and he is a billionaire because, of course, we love our wealthy men. And he finds out that he has a daughter who's 12 years old, and he gets his best friend's younger sister to help watch her after she gets fired from her job. So, yeah, that's it. She's like basically watching her, I guess. I'm only like 60 pages in. I'll be honest with you, not a huge fan of it.
I feel like Elsie Silver is hit or miss.
Okay. And also, this is like, I feel like this book, I've seen this book on TikTok a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So that's why I was like, oh, I should get it because I've seen it on TikTok a lot. And the one thing like I don't like is the fact, just gonna say this real quick, is the fact that like it's revealed that he has a daughter, right? And you're like, oh my God, you have a daughter? Who were you sleeping with? No, Sam, he got it from a sperm bank. He donated his sperm and his daughter showed up. It was like, you're my dad. I don't think that's how that works, but I guess okay.
On a technicality,
Yeah, and then he's like,
she is correct.
she's like, I need you to take care of me. He's like, okay.
This child I had no idea even existed.
Yes. So basically, that's what I'm reading. I'll let you guys know if it's good or not because I'm trying. Okay. Maybe I'll like it in the end, but we'll see. So we're going to be jumping right into our spoiler section for Little Miss Petty by Sally Kilpatrick. If you have yet to read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, then check out last week's episode in which we finished First to Finish, which is our first ever Formula One romance. And if you have already read Little Miss Petty or you don't care to be spoiled, then join us as we discuss this book.
I would like to talk about her ex.
Oh, yeah.
And his, oh my God, he's a narcissist.
Oh, yeah. And
Number
also,
one. Oh
well,
my God.
I also really like the fact that it basically showed up where she was going in to be like romantic with him, and then she grabbed
Someone's
his
boob.
boob, and she's like, "What is this?" Like,
What is happening right now?
yeah. Also, I don't really necessarily get the whole thing with a car. Like, I guess if that makes sense, like, why does it need to be
So
like,
her dad screwed up her credit.
yes,
And so she didn't have like good credit to buy
Mhm.
a car. And so even though she was paying on the car, her ex had to like buy it on paper
Yeah,
because it was credit.
yeah,
And as narcissists do, like that's something to hold over her.
Mhm.
Because I don't think he actually wanted to let her go. And like that was
Yeah,
proven when like she showed up at the house to go get like the title or something.
Mhm.
And he was like, why don't you come back? Like, whatever. And then when she was like, no, and holding her ground, and then he's basically like, you're a bitch, and like reported her to the detective agency peoples because now, like, all the power he held over her
Yeah,
over this car, she's like, no, you don't have that power anymore. So he's like, all right, well, now I'm going to mess with the rest of your life because I messed up. Now
yeah.
I'm going to mess you up. And then she was like, oh, well, bet. And like the pettiest thing she ever could have done, called the IRS. And I was
I
like,
mean,
good on you, darling. Good on you.
yeah, good for you. I just kind of felt like it was weird that she's like, I have to get this fixed by my birthday.
Because the registration was up on her birthday.
Oh, okay. Is that
Yeah, the
why?
registration was up on her birthday.
What did you think about the whole reveal that it wasn't him, that it was his cousin that was the one who was like stealing the money, and that she got the wrong cousin basically. She thought that Malone was actually Blake.
I wish it lasted a little bit longer.
Mhm.
I wanted it to go further because they kind of look alike. And that's like a big detail in this book is that people mistake both of them for the other one all the time.
Yes.
So I kind of wanted like more times of her like being petty toward him and
Mhm.
getting pictures and getting videos and
Yeah.
everything, going to like finish out her contract with, I can't remember what her name was, but the girl she had the contract with.
Trista,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And Trista, yeah. And so going to Trista and being like, here's everything I've
Mhm.
done. Hope you're happy. And then her be like, that's not my
Yeah.
husband.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like a whole thing of like, I'm so sorry that I messed up your life. I was doing it for your, and then
I just kind of wish that it was revealed more towards the end of it because it would have been adding more death and angst to the book. Whereas I can't be with this guy because he's supposed to be bad, but everything about him tells me he's good. But I'm so confused and all this conflict. But in the end, it was like, I felt like it was pretty fast. It's revealed that it's not him. It's like, I'm not my cousin kind of thing. And it's all because of our eyes. And which, by the way, I sent you a Snapchat while I was at the gym when he was like, my girlfriend broke up with me because I have two different color eyes. And I literally sent you a Snapchat. I was like, what?
yeah, I was like, hold on, wait, there's a reason. You
Yes.
got to keep going because his ex fiance was in cahoots with
His
his
cousin.
cousin,
Yeah.
and they were like the reason why he was being blamed for like
Everything.
embezzlement,
Yeah. By
which
the
would have been
way,
more of a fun
mhm.
reveal
Yeah.
later.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Which is this is why I'm like I keep calling this book like really fluffy because like and I'm not saying that it's like different than other romance books, but like it reminds me a lot of that book that we read for Christmas. You know that like fluffy it wasn't fluffy, but it was like
So
that
everybody,
mystery. Yeah, everyone
this Christmas is a murder or something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
It
Yeah,
reminded me of that book where it's like very kinda non
like surface level
yes,
mystery.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's what
yeah.
like, that's why I felt about this book where I was, like, excited because like, "Oh, it's romance and it has a mystery, and this sounds really interesting, we haven't read anything like this before." I was just, like, wasn't really excited because I felt like a lot of the things that could have been pushed out further out was, like, revealed pretty easily, and it was like, "Ta-da! It's not me, it's my evil cousin."
Now it just sounds like a bad villain story.
Yeah. Well, okay. So one of the things I really wanted from this book when we first chose it was the fact that I was excited that she was starting this business called like Little Miss Petty, where she's doing petty
Yeah,
things. And although we don't really get, I feel like we don't get a ton of petty things. Like I feel like you said in the beginning of this episode, most of it it's very much of like, oh, I did this.
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like more things kind of that they were doing, but I also expected something similar to like John Tucker Must Die, that movie.
Mm.
Have you seen it before?
I know of it.
Oh my god, you have to watch it. I'm gonna make you watch it. All the girls, like, he's shading with,
Yeah, yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
they team up to kinda destroy John Tucker. So I thought this book was gonna be about her and her 2 friends joining forces, trying to ruin this guy's life, only for her to fall in love with him, and for her friends to be like, "Why did he fall in love with him? Like, he's supposed to be our target, blah, blah, blah." I feel like it would've added more depth and tension to the book, and just, like, kinda watching her catch feelings and then feeling
Kind
conflicted.
of more like how my neighbor stole Christmas kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
like we actually see like the shenanigans and the hijinks kind of happening.
yes.
Because I would have loved to like follow along when they were putting all those flamingos in someone's yard. The flamingos was like a huge talking point over and over
Mhm.
again. So I would have loved them all be at the store buying all these flamingos or
Yeah,
whatever, or ordering them and then like going and putting them in these people's yards and stuff.
yeah.
Like and shenanigans ensue. Because that would have been like a fun moment, especially if like it like Havisham and then Daisy and her like all were doing it at the same
Yeah.
time and it was like a girlhood moment. That would have been fun.
Yeah, that would've been so much fun. Instead, I felt like a lot of this book was just like, "I'm gonna go here and do this," and I'm not saying the book is bad by any means, I still rated 3 stars, but I wish
Yeah.
it was, like, a little bit more depth to it, and I
Mm.
also first off, I just wanna tell you this real quick. Why did Malone leave all the information in an apartment that his cousin had the key to?
Because people are stupid.
When I read it, like, "Oh, he had a key, he didn't mean break in." And I was like, "What? He had a key to your apartment that you're staying in that has all the secret files to go against your cousin? Okay, okay,
I mean,
okay."
technically, he owned the building, so he honestly probably could have had like a master key the whole time.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Mm-mm. Do you wanna talk about Blake, the cousin? I thought there was gonna be more things to do with him, like, I guess, like, I don't know, like, when it's revealed that it's him, that he's the one that who oh, we all knew it was him,
Yeah.
basically, but when the grandfather was like, "No, it was you, Malone, who stole all the money," he's like, "No, it was Blake, I have the information." I wanted the grandfather to call out Blake. I wanted Blake to be there and for them to call Blake out and be like, having this closure of like, "Hey, you stole the money. You've constantly made my life miserable. I want you to like, this is my petty revenge against you," kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I felt like we had a missed opportunity there with a more satisfying ending. Did you have any like favorite moments of this book?
I loved like any of the moments they were in the Waffle House, especially with like the cook just being there, and like
Yeah, yeah,
she had some
yeah,
funny lines, and just them like all talking with each other, and so just like the girlhood empowerment
yeah,
was a lot of fun with it. But
yeah.
yeah, them all being in the Waffle House all the time and just like
Mhm.
sewing this man's underwear together
Yep,
and having their moments was great. And then Havisham finding her billionaire cowboy was great.
yep. I think honestly, if you're looking for a book that is fluffy and romantic and a book that you can easily read, then obviously this is the one for you. Personally, I wanted more depth to this book, but I liked it. I liked the scenes where it was her and her friends together. I really like the scene where the grandfather was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make you dance because I'm gonna haze you," and she's like, "Don't worry, I know how to foxtrot."
It's so random.
It's very
It's so
random.
random, but you know what? I'm here for it.
I did kind of like the fact that she wore Converses under her dress too. But anyways, anything else we'd like to add about this book, Sam?
No, I mean overall, I'll keep my 4-star rating. I had a good time with it, but I got through it so quick, and I had fun with it. And I agree, like her and Morrison obviously fell in love super duper quick. I still liked their relationship and their pizza with benefits and whatnot. No, overall, I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. 4 stars, really did. I think it's good. I highly
Yeah.
recommend.
So let's talk about what we're going to be reading next week. So we're going to be taking a book off of Sam's TBR and letting Sam choose the book that we're going to be reading. And so, Sam, what book did you choose for us?
So this time around, I chose Nightshade by Autumn Woods. It is a kind of dark academia book about a girl who goes to a school in the Scottish Highlands where like very powerful families are, but she doesn't belong. She's a scholarship student. So it's giving her the opportunity to investigate her parents' accidental deaths. Then she runs into Alex, who is the son of the person who she thinks killed her parents, and he is just the epitome of I hate you, basically. Like, you are terrible. So it's kind of like enemies to lovers, dark academia, just mystery book. I'm really excited about it. It's been highly recommended to me, mostly on TikTok, but I'm really excited to kind of read it and get into it. And I love a good dark academia. Like, it's
Yeah.
if it's not a fantasy, dark academia is where it's at with me. So I'm super
Yeah.
excited.
I love myself some Scottish men. So.
And I've already started the audiobook, and like
Yeah.
it's done as a duet. And
Okay.
so
Oh,
the main
Scottish
character, the main character who has I mean, she's English, and then he's obviously Scottish, or he's got like a weird accent. It's like French, English, American.
Wait, what?
So they will explain it. But it's done in duet. So like every time he's supposed to talk in her dialogue, he talks. So like it could be her
Oh.
talking and then he says his own lines. So and I love duet narration. So
Yeah.
I think you'll really like this. Like
Okay. Do you see the disappointment in my face when you're like, "Oh, he's French," and I was like, "Oh,
it's like a weird French English American accent. And they explain
okay."
why it's a French English American accent. I love duet narration because it's like you get to hear the voice. So when they do like the like deep talk,
Yeah.
instead of having the girl be like hello, it's the actual guy doing it, and it's like it's just a different level.
Well, I'm excited to check it out. And if you guys did like this episode and would like to support us, please remember to rate us on Spotify or anywhere else you can rate us because it does help push this podcast out there. Also, remember check out our YouTube channel where we will be posting our not our live, but our videos of the episodes there. So if you want to see our beautiful faces, then go ahead there because you can go check us out there. And we will tell you about the rest of our socials.
So if you think we're absolutely hilarious, which fun fact, my friends, we are. We do have a TikTok. It is Just More Page Podcast. For all the pictures, videos, stories, reels, anything else we decide to post, we do have an Instagram. It is Just More Page Official. And now we're posting also on YouTube Shorts. So come ahead and come check us out. Come follow us. Come slide into our DMs. We love talking to you all. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you have a fantastic Sunday.
Bye.
Bye.